Thank you. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different from anything I've done before, and I'm going to give you guys 5 ways to get over someone from someone who has been there before. So I haven't really shared that much with you guys about my personal life, and I'm going to do that today. So I was in a relationship with someone for a very long time, from pretty much from the time I was in middle school till last year, off and on. And it was a very unhealthy relationship. Cheating, lying, manipulating. I mean, anything that can go wrong in a relationship, he did it. Besides, I mean, he wasn't violent or anything. And on top of all those things that can go wrong in a relationship, I had moved in with this guy. So basically, if you're feeling trapped in a relationship, you should never move in with that person. Which I did, stupidly. I was 18, so, well, actually I was 17, and as soon as I turned 18, I moved in with him because my parents did not like him at all. And they obviously said no. They said it wasn't a good idea, and because I was 18, I was like, I'm doing it anyways. You know, when you turn 18, you want to do things like get a credit card and register to vote and prove to your parents that you're an adult, which is what I did, and it was not in the best way. So I do not recommend doing that. But besides the point, I'm going to give you 5 ways on how to get over someone that you love but that you know you shouldn't love, and that you know doesn't deserve a relationship with you, which can be the most difficult thing in the world. And I'm here to tell you that I have been out of a relationship with this person for almost a year now, and I'm just now getting to a point where I feel comfortable with making this video and sort of giving advice on it, because this past year has been a big struggle, and I'm going to share with you how I did get over this person. Okay. The number 1 way that you can get over someone, the first steps you need to take is to remove all traces of them in your life. So this means literally anything, and that can be movies, books, jewelry, t-shirts that you have, pictures, letters, whatever you have that you are holding on to that makes you think of this person. You need to get rid of it, because if you start to make progress and then you open your drawer one day and see a t-shirt of his in your drawer, it's just going to tear you apart all over again and mess up any progress you have made. I even went as far to throw away a perfume that I used to wear whenever I was around him, because I found that when I wore it after we had broken up, it just reminded me of all of the heartbreak and the hard times, and it was just, smell is very connected to memory, and it just, I had to get rid of it. So do that. And then another thing that I think goes along with number 1, removing all traces, is making things that used to be y'all's thing into your thing. So my example for this is going to be the show Friends. If there's any Friends people out there, please let me know down below, because I am obsessed. I actually have it on my TV right now. Season 5, episode 5. I'm watching it for like the 4th time. So, anyways. We watched Friends for the first time together all the way through. I watched it with him. So after we broke up, it was so hard for me to watch it and not think of him. And to me that was frustrating, because Friends was and still is my favorite show on earth. And I was like, great, now the show is ruined for me because I watched it with him and I'm never going to be able to watch it again, and that is wrong. So what I did was I watched the show over again from episode 1 all the way through, and I made it my show. I picked out the things that I enjoyed, that I connected with, and made it mine instead of ours. And I think this is good, because instead of being like, oh, I can't listen to this song because it makes me think of him, well, I can't watch this show because it makes me think of him, I can't go here because we went there together. Start making things yours, and it eliminates the amount of territory and pull he has in your life, and it liberates you, trust me. So the number 2 thing that you need to do to get over someone is to love who you are without them, because I know it was difficult for me when we broke up because I had been with this person for such a long time. I mean, from the time I was 11 till the time I was 18, I was with this person, and that is a big chunk of me growing into an adult. And so all of my opinions were sort of shaped because of his. And when you're in a controlling relationship, you sort of minimize your opinions and shape your opinions to that person so that they approve of you more, which is really sad. And I figured out that now that I wasn't with him, I could work on hobbies that I had been wanting to try, such as YouTube and blogging and painting. I could do whatever I want because I had all this time on my hand to do the things that I wanted to do instead of asking what he wanted to do and doing whatever that was and always putting him first. So another thing you can start doing now that he is out of your life to get over him is to start wearing the clothes that you want to wear, listen to the music you want to listen to, enjoy time by yourself, and instead of in your alone moments sort of just moping around and just wondering what you're doing, what you can be doing, start finding hobbies, finding things that you enjoy to do to make your time that is alone much more enjoyable. So hang out with friends, hang out with family, and learn that you can stand on your own and that it is okay to be alone. You don't constantly need him, and in general, you don't constantly need someone. It's okay to be by yourself. Okay, so number 3 is a little cheesy, but I'm just going to throw it in there because I sort of had an aha moment with this one. And that is going to be create a vision of your Prince Charming in your head, which I know is crazy. But the example I thought of this one was like Disney movies. So when you're little and you watch Disney movies, I'm sure whatever prince was in the Disney princess movies, you were like, I'm gonna marry him. I'm gonna find someone just like him, and I'm gonna find him in the woods, and we're gonna sing, and we're gonna get married. The end. And I thought to myself, if I expect something like that for myself when I was like 7 years old, I expected the magic and the passion and kindness and loyalty. Why should I expect anything less now that I'm older? Why should I accept anything less for myself just because I'm older? And I know that Disney princes are unrealistic and they don't exist, but that doesn't mean that you should expect less than whatever it is that you want or whatever it is that you wanted when you were younger. You have much more realistic wants now, but you shouldn't settle for anything less just because you're older. And you should also point out when you're creating your vision of your Prince Charming, all the characteristics that you want in him, you should also compare that to the person that you were with. All the things that he didn't have, all the characteristics that don't line up with what you do want. This will help you see that he really isn't the person that you want, and that he was lacking in a lot of the places that you do want for yourself. Now, number 4 is going to be for if you are religious, because as I pointed out in my previous video, I am, and that is a big part of my life. So number 4 is going to be praying and talking to God about your struggles. So before I started doing that, after we had broken up, I found myself, well, I was fine whenever I was with my family or my friends or I was doing something fun, but as soon as I was alone in my car or I had moments of downtime where I was just thinking, I would get sad and start to rethink everything, like, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right choice? Do I need to go back to him? Am I ever going to find anyone else? Stuff like that. And I found myself just full of regret and questions and sad that I was alone. And that is no fun and so stressful, and it makes you exhausted. So what I started doing was praying about it and sort of asking for guidance and answers in why this was happening, and trusting that there were better things ahead, and asking for confidence and joy to drown out the sadness. And I just wanted a reminder that there were greater things ahead, and I wanted my heart to be filled with joy instead of sadness, because I believe that the things that happened to me in that relationship happened for a reason, to open my eyes and lead me away from that relationship. And I needed to listen. I needed to open my eyes and see that that was not the relationship that was meant for me, and that was just preparation for something bigger and better and much more healthy in the future. So I definitely suggest turning to God for your questions and your sadness to sort of give you a greater purpose and to turn your love to someone else, if that makes any sense. Now, to me, number 5 may be the most important. I mean, I think they're all important, but number 5 is definitely important, and that is analyzing the missing. And so when I found myself missing him, which happened a lot, I missed him, well, okay, so in the past year, I have tried to date other guys, and it hasn't worked out. I haven't been super interested in them. I haven't been able to enjoy them for who they are. I've just been constantly comparing them to the other person, and I found myself missing him a lot whenever I felt lonely or like I was failing in those relationships, or when I felt like I really wanted someone to go do stuff with me. But then I started to think I didn't really miss him. I missed the good parts of our relationship, but the good parts never lasted, and he always resorted to mistreating me and lying and getting into ruts, is what he would call it, where he just didn't care for me. And to me, when you have a good, strong relationship, of course you're going to go through times where you're just not as happy. No one's happy all the time, but you should never resort to mistreating people or lying to them or ignoring them. That should never be the case. And so when he was telling me he was in ruts, I just had a hard time believing that, and it was super unhealthy and so bad for my emotional state, and it did a lot of damage to me as far as trust issues and relationship outlook. So I started to realize I wasn't really missing him. I was missing being close with someone and having a good bond and the good parts of our relationship, which never really lasted. And I really wasn't missing him. I was missing who I thought he was, which turned out to be pretty much an act that he was putting on that didn't last more than like 6 months. And so I realized that I wanted more, and that the missing really wasn't missing him as a person. It was just missing having that relationship and feeling like I was close with someone and like I had a partner. And I realized that I will find that again, and that I don't want it to be with him, because I don't want that treatment again. I don't want to feel the way he made me feel again. And I want something that's healthier and strong and something new. And as soon as you start to realize that for yourself, the sooner you'll realize that you don't want him back, and you don't want to hear from him. You don't want to text him. You don't want to see him, because you want something better. You want to feel better, and you want to be happy. And it's okay for it to take a long time for you to feel okay. And I think another good thing to do is to realize that it is going to take time, and don't let yourself get so discouraged when you do find another relationship and it doesn't work out. Don't immediately resort to, oh, it's never going to work out the same that it worked out with the original relationship, the bad relationship, and don't think, I'm never going to be able to find another relationship and it only seemed to work with that person, because that is not the case. It may be one of two things. You may just not be ready for another relationship, because when you love someone and you're trying to get over them, it's probably not the best idea to jump into another relationship, because you have all this built up damage and hurt that is just going to end up in you being like, whoa, this is too much and I don't want to do this right now. Or it could be that it's just the wrong person. Maybe you are ready to move on and you find that it doesn't work out and you're discouraged, but it may just be that that wasn't the right person for you, and that's okay too. I think ultimately you have to think about your future and realize that this is the only life you're going to get, and do you really want to be wasting years of your life with a person who doesn't really appreciate you and who you are? And do you really want to be trapped in a relationship or even in a marriage with someone who makes you feel... That was my dog. You okay? It makes you feel so belittled and unwanted, and who makes you question constantly what you're doing wrong or what you need to change, because that is just exhausting and you deserve so much more than that. So I hope that this helped you a lot. I hope it was just a quick, easy video for you to watch that sort of encouraged you to either get out of a bad relationship or helped you to realize that you can get over someone who mistreated you. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I would love to hear your recommendations on how you got over someone. And I would like to wish you guys good luck, because I know it is a difficult journey, but you can do it. And I would love all of the support down in the comments for people who are going through this journey or who have already made it through this journey. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!